Hey, kia ora. Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Surprise in Arizona. Hope you're all having a super fantastic sparkling day. Welcome to Porch Light Letters podcast number 2171. We are 20 episodes away from celebrating 6 years of continuous daily lives. Yes. And tonight we're talking about the gifts of, what are we talking about? Hang on. The gifts of the middle. That's right, because we are talking about, oh my gosh. Sorry, my head is all over the place. I am trying to edit a video in a certain way, and it is not working how I want it to work. So I'm going to have to go figure it out. But that's okay. We're fine. We're here. It doesn't want to do what I want it to do, but we'll figure it out. And that's okay, because we are in the middle. So this is the final episode of this week's In the Meantime, volume 11. And we're talking about the gifts in the middle. We often rush through the middle, trying to get to the next thing, the finish line, the resolution. But the middle has its own kind of magic. It's where the real beginning happens, the deep work, and the quiet clarity. The middle holds gifts we often miss if we're too focused on what's next. What it teaches us is that the middle isn't the waiting room. It's where the transformation takes place. And we often miss it because we're too busy trying to get through it. So we miss, that transformational piece. It's the space where habits form, trust deepens, and identity roots itself. Being present in the middle teaches us patience, resilience, and self-acceptance. There's wisdom in the process, not just the outcome. And remember, all week we've been saying, marry the process, divorce the results. Because if you're too focused on the results, the process isn't going to work properly to get the results that you want. You will get the results you want, just not in the way you anticipate. And they might not quite be what you want. It'll end up being what you wanted, but in a way that you didn't know that you needed. Yeah. So what happens when you start finding meaning in the unfolding and not just the arrival? You notice the small ways you're growing, healing, and showing up differently. You stop rushing through discomfort and start learning from it. I will tell you this from personal experience, that you do learn a lot in the middle of discomfort. When there's stuff going on around you, and what really got me when Brad was in hospital and stuff, I used to look out the window and people were going about their daily thing. And I'm like, don't you guys? And I'm like, wanting just to hit the pause button on the remote. I've got a remote here. Take the remote here, hit that pause button and have the world just stop so that we could get everything done with Brad. And then we could hit play to become part of the human race again. It just amazed me that, people were going around their things and we're paused. We were sitting on pause while he was in hospital. But we were learning something every single day. I was growing and stretching. Brad was growing and stretching. Even though he was in his final days and everything else, he was still growing and stretching up until when he passed. You discover the middle is where your true strength lives. I would tell you, being in that middle place, I learned a lot more about myself, a lot more about my husband than I had ever learned in my entire life, about our relationship, about him, about me. It was a very blessed place to be. So how can we carry forward? We celebrate progress while it's still in process. Like, I'm celebrating a really cool thing, but I can't tell you about it right now because I'm still working on it. But I'm still in the process. It's not there yet. And I am super, super excited about it. I've already asked a couple of people to take a look at it, to give me their feedback and stuff. So I'm celebrating the fact that I got it to the point where I can get somebody else to look at this project and see what they think and get their feedback. So I'm celebrating the fact I got it to that point. When I get this other piece sorted out, when I'm with the editing side of it, then that'll be absolutely, totally, and utterly awesome. And I will celebrate that victory when I finally figure out what I'm supposed to be doing. Look back and see how far you've come as well. Not just how far you have to go, but how far have you come? What part of that, what has led you to here? What have you gone through to get to here? Like Brad always used to ask me, if you could go back in time and change anything, would you? And I always told him no. I wouldn't change one moment. And he goes, not even you getting cancer. I said, not even you getting cancer. I says, you may see it as a struggle and everything else. I see it as something that we have both learned and grown from. We would not be the people we are today had we not gone on that journey. We would not have met some of the amazing people that we have met and are still in our lives had it not been for that journey. And he had to sit and reflect on that for a little bit to figure out what it was I actually meant. And then he's like, okay, I get it now. But in my eulogy, I was telling that story, and I said, if anybody was to ask me that right now, I would ask for more time. I didn't want to go back and change anything. I just wanted more time with my husband. Well, I guess I was changing something. I was changing in passing. I just wanted more time with my husband. That was all I wanted at that time. Now that I'm 7.5 years in, since he passed, do I still want time with him? Absolutely. Do I still miss him? Absolutely. If they say time heals all wounds, yes, it may soften it at times, but there is times that grief will come out and whack you with a bit of 4x2 and say, you thought you were done with me. Yeah, there's some learning and growing to be done during those times as well. So ask yourself, what is this moment teaching me right now? And on the legacy side, the middle is the part of your story that gets passed on more than the ending. It's where grit, grace, and lessons live. Being honest about the middle gives others permission to be human in their lives. I have to tell you a story. So when I work with Mailbox, on the jobs I have to do with Mailbox Power is I work on the Q&A. We have live Q&A 5 days a week, and I run them on 3 of the days and do a little bit of orientation within the system as well, so showing them what's where and everything else. I have to tell you, I have some amazing sessions with some incredible people that I get to meet who just get to meet me for the first time on that live, even though they may have been chatting with me in the meantime. But I have to say, today we got to have an amazing brainstorming session. Yes, we got questions answered. Yes, we showed them things to the system. But then it was sort of like things were just popping into my head like crazy. And I said, well, have you thought of doing this? Or what about that? And if you did this, you could do that. And they said, well, and teaching them that how they can win back clients. Well, some of the things that I have done in the past to win back clients. What could they be doing with their business based on what the type of business that? And I just tell you that I didn't even have to think. I would just open my mouth and stuff would come out. And afterwards, I'm sitting back in my chair here and my creative juices are just flowing through me like crazy. And I'm like, I've got to have an outlet. I've got to go create something. So I did. I went and created something that I've been putting off for a while. It's one of those things that's been sitting on the back burner, and today it felt right. The body rhythm and everything else felt right. I was in my zone. And but I later sat back and I thought about what had happened there. And I'm like, I didn't even give any of it a thought. Somebody said something, my mouth opened and blah, came out. And they were like, wow. And I'm just like, and it's like, you just came up with that? I went, yep. Like, where'd that come from? I got no idea. It just opened my mouth and it fell out. That's literally what was happening during the session that we did today. And I will tell you, I got off there. I felt so refreshed and so energized that I didn't even think about it. I just went and got this project that I've been working on that's been sitting on the back burner since October of last year, and it's almost done. Part of it has been completed. There's just another little piece that we need to do to finish it off, and that's what I was working on. So you never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen, especially when you're in the middle. There's going to be times when you're sitting there and for no reason whatsoever, you will just open your mouth and stuff falls out. And it's brilliant. People look at you and go, whoa, where'd that come from? And you sit there and go, I don't know. It just fell out of my mouth. And you will have days like that too. Those are some of the gifts that are waiting for you in the middle as you are going through struggles, as you're in that in-between time of completing this project, having to start this project. You're in that waiting period where you've got this part done, but you've got to wait until you can do this part. And now we're stuck in this middle area. What happens? Things like sitting down, talking with people, opening your mouth, and stuff just falls out and you've had no thought about it whatsoever. Somebody said something, you open your mouth, out it comes. It's brilliant. And that's some of the gifts that are waiting there in the middle for you. It could also be that you end up attracting to you the business partner that you need or the resources that you need to help you move to the next step. That middle area, when you're in the meantime, It is so good to be there. And I used to rush through that time. Now I sit and dwell, because you never know what's going to happen. Brilliance comes out of it in some form or another. So here are our reflection questions for you for tonight. We got 4 of them. They will go into your Porch Light Reflection Journal on the, oops, hang on, that's the wrong journal. The clean cover. I can use that right now. They can go in on your Porch Light pages, or you can choose to answer one of the questions that are on the other side. And you can order it by scanning the QR code up here in the right left-hand corner. So here are your reflection questions. They're in the description below as well. Number 1, what has the middle season you're in taught you about yourself? That's a good question. Number 2, what small amount or shift in the last week are you proud of? I'm proud of what's been accomplished today. I will tell you that right now, because I know it's going to lead to bigger and better things. Number 3, how can you celebrate the work you're doing even if it's not finished? Every project is broken down into small pieces. You might turn and go, I've got this big project I've got to be working on. Break it down into chunks of less than 1 hour. Then take these wonderful, amazing, incredible little things that are called Post-it notes, right on here, and you can color code them if you wish. You can use, I've got a rainbow of colors. I've got a stack of them over there with neon colors in. You can color them if you wish, or you can just take all one color and stick it up on the wall. But write down each step of your project and how long it's going to take. Put the minutes down in the corners. It's going to take me 5 minutes, 15, 20, 23. What's it going to take? It has to be less than 1 hour, no more than 50 minutes. Then you stick them up on the wall in a column, in a thing. Like I have the bigger ones that have the lines on it, and I put what the overall project is and what the goal is. And then underneath that, I will have different colored Post-it notes based on the resources that I need to use. Do I need to use a program that's on my computer? Do I need to use an AI resource? Do I need to go do physical research in a library? All of this sort of stuff, any resources that I need to do, I write it on here. And each color is a different resource. And then what you do is that when you have a few minutes, you go over and you look at, and you go, okay, well, I've got 20 minutes before I need to get ready for my next appointment. And you look at your board and you go, and what can I do in the next 20? Oh, that one's a 5-minute one, so we'll go do that. And that one's a 10-minute one. Well, let's just do those 2. And then if I've got time left over, I'll go back and grab another 5. And you sit down and you do those 2 projects that are on the Post-it notes. You sit them down in front of you. This one's a 5-minute one. This one's a 10-minute one. You sit down, you knock them out in like 12 minutes. You go, well, I have 8 minutes left. What else can I get rid of? And I will tell you, doing those little small steps and eventually by the end of the week, you're going to have these big gaps sitting on your wall, and you'll be further along in your project than you thought. This is what you can do in the middle. While you are waiting for stuff to get done, while you're waiting for something on this step to be completed so you can move it to this step, there's some stuff in the middle here that you can get done by using these little Post-it notes and having it up on the wall there, and you'll be surprised at how much you will get cleared off that wall in a week just by taking a few minutes here and there. If you want more about that, send me a note and I'm happy to explain it to you more in detail. Anyway, so you can celebrate the fact that you've taken a Post-it note off the wall, you've done the thing, you're screwing it up, you throw it in the bucket and go, yay, celebrate it, it's done. Now on to the next one. So number 4, that's one of those things, the mouth just opens up, you never know what's going to come out. What gifts have shown up in the in-between that you didn't expect? That's question 4 for you. What gifts have shown up in the in-between that you didn't expect? And with that, we're going to go with our closing thought of the day. You don't have to be done to be proud. There is beauty in the unfinished, strength in the stretch, and gifts waiting in the middle. Honor this part of your story. It matters just as much as the beginning or the end. And with that, we are out of here. Go out, have a super fantastic, sparkling evening. We'll catch you guys back